Hello, and thank you for watching this regional forecast update for the Western U.S. I'm Andrew Pritchard, Senior Meteorologist with Nutrien Ag Solutions. With temperatures on Friday morning, we've got some cooler air gathering across parts of the interior Rockies as the system makes its way across the central United States, lifting then into the Great Lakes as we head deeper into the weekend. Temperatures in the 30s and 40s across western Oregon, western Washington, down the coast into California, 50s and 60s as you make your way into southern Cal. The satellite picture this morning, infrared satellite picture, here is the organizing storm system across the midsection of the country. As we flip it over and look at the radar, we've got rain organizing from Texas and Oklahoma off into portions of Missouri, Illinois, and Iowa. Some snow taking shape on the north side of that from Nebraska into Michigan. As you look back toward the west, across the western United States, we do have some moisture making its way in across the Pacific Northwest and into northern California as we head through the next 48 hours or so. The hazards map right now, we've got winter weather advisories across portions of the higher elevations of the Sierras across northern California, and then getting into northern portions of Nevada. We've also got winter storm watches across central portions of Utah. The higher elevations here getting some wintry weather as we head into the weekend. The last 7 days of precipitation, it's really been quite dry across the lower 48. We did get some moisture across western portions of Washington and Oregon. We saw a little bit of precipitation coming in, a little bit of an overachiever across parts of central Arizona, getting into New Mexico over the last 24 hours or so. That is really just about it over the last week or so across the western half of the country. And then as we look at the next 7 days, with an active storm track that's cutting in across the country like this from the Pacific Northwest, diving down across the central Rockies, and then these systems lifting across the Ohio River Valley into New England, we're really going to be focusing a lot of the precipitation on coastal portions of British Columbia, although we will get some down into central California as we head through the weekend, and then stacking up some snow here across portions of the northern and central Rockies. Here's the latest Drought Monitor. This was issued on December 8th, released to the public on the 10th, and again, continuing to see expanding drought conditions across the region. The exceptional drought region continues to thrive and spread on into eastern portions of Nevada. Of course, severe and extreme drought surrounding that, spreading into portions of northern California and Oregon. Not a lot of change with that. Again, as we've really kept things pretty dry, the pattern has remained pretty well locked in. And again, over the next 7 to 10 days, as I just hit play on the upper level pattern here at 500 millibars, you can see the active storm track from the North Pacific. These storms then come in. We get blasted in the Pacific Northwest. They then move across the central Rockies, eject across the mid-U.S., and then lift across the Ohio River Valley into New England. So what we do is we set up two real active areas. That's the Ohio River Valley into New England, and then that is the Pacific Northwest at times down into northern California. So as we look at the precipitation forecast, the precipitation type forecast over the next week from the European model, we'll take it here through Friday. Again, that chance for some light moisture across the Pacific Northwest, heavier moving into northern California and then northern portions of the Central Valley, up into the higher elevations of the Sierras as we head through the overnight tonight into tomorrow morning. That load then moves across the Rockies and ejects across portions of the southern plains as we get into Sunday, not before dropping some more snow on the Four Corners region. Then as we head into Sunday, we get another big coastal storm kind of hitting us with its frontal boundary here. So we're not going to get, real extended blast of moisture here, but we'll get a quick round of rain and snow in the higher elevations as we head through the day on Sunday. And then here comes the next one. You can see it, the big bowling ball marching across the Pacific. This one brings another round of moisture to the Pacific Northwest as we get into Monday and Tuesday. So, and then here you go. Here comes the next one. We've got an area of high pressure setting up off the coast of California. So clockwise flow coming around that. You end up with flow off of Southern California, coming around that high, and then this is where we've got the moisture in the active storm track. These storms coming around the Chukchi Sea through the Gulf of Alaska and then blasting much of their moisture. So we get moisture on the north end, and we get dry conditions on the south end of this pattern here. So as we side by side compare the European operational model and the GFS on the right, a lot of this moisture here that makes its way down into Southern California in the Sierras, that is with the system here over the next 24 to 48 hours. Looks like much of what falls as we get through the back half of the weekend into next week is really on this trajectory through the Pacific Northwest down into the central Rockies. So snow in the higher elevations here will continue to soak coastal portions of Washington and Oregon with anywhere from 3 to 5 inches of rainfall over the next 7 days, while we continue to keep much of Southern California toward the Four Corners region on the dry side over the next 7 days. Total snow, again, we'll be stacking it up over the next 7 days here across northern and central portions of the Rockies, a little bit down toward the Four Corners region, but really, again, we continue to dry out across Southern California into the Four Corners region. Getting a little bit of moisture into the Central Valley here, but it's really kind of loaded up toward the north. As you get further off toward the south into the Fresno, the Tulare region, we're probably talking about, tenths of an inch of moisture over the next 7 to 10 days. So, it's nice to see some of this being forecast across the region, bringing this a little bit further to the south. But really, as you get into this kind of region here, that's where we're talking just, probably tenths of an inch, if anything at all, over the next week. And a lot of that coming with the system here Friday into Saturday. So if you don't get it by Sunday into Monday, unfortunately, it does look like it'll be, we'll have to wait for the next good opportunity here, which is at least, 7 days out or so. We'll look at the next 5 days, and then days 6 through 10 on the right, the upper level height pattern, 500 millibar anomalies. Again, this is just not going to get it done across central and southern California off toward the Four Corners region. You get scream and flow coming in like this, diving in across the Pacific Northwest, these systems then lifting across New England. So this is good for some excitement across the Ohio River Valley into the Northeast. This is great for soaking moisture across the Pacific Northwest and the Northern Rockies, but this is a dry pattern across California into the Four Corners region. So here you go. This is the next 15 days, your precipitation anomaly. Follow the storm track. That's where you got your moisture. We'll look at temperatures then. We are going to be warming slightly as we head into next week. I know there have been temperature concerns across the Central Valley. It does look like we'll be a little bit more on the mild side and even increasing here as we head into next week. Here are your highs on Saturday. Getting into Sunday, we're starting a little bit of a warm-up here into Monday and Tuesday. I hope you have a great day, great Friday, and a wonderful weekend. Eric will be back with the ag forecast early on Monday morning, and I'll be back to talk about the West on Tuesday.